welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha. I am an intuitive, psychic empath, channeler. Um, I am a tarot reader, all that good stuff. My channel is all about spirituality and just giving messages and readings and anything that I feel called to share to help you guys along your own personal spiritual journeys. I am only 26, but I feel like I've been through like a million lifetimes in this one. Okay, so this is going to be 7 lessons that I've learned in my spiritual journey. Um, I'm in a point right now where I'm being called to now lead and step up and speak and use my experiences to help others. So that is my purpose in this video. Um, to help you maybe understand some of the things you've been through and make things kind of click, and to also let you know that you are not alone in this. And sometimes the spiritual journey is lonely, can feel lonely, but you are never truly alone. And so let's jump into this. I wrote a lot of stuff down, but I feel like I just need to just channel from my heart. And I wrote the 7 things down that I really felt called to share. So, number one, karma. So, the number one thing that I felt like I wanted to talk about and um, share is about karma. So, a lot of us who are on this spiritual journey, you know, it's not butterflies and rainbows. We're facing the deepest depths of who we are, our deepest fears. Um, our family's deepest fears, our family's deepest pain that trickle down to us. And it trickles down to us because of, so we can heal it, let it go, and make way for future generations that they don't have to deal with what us and previous generations had to endure. Also, with karma, that I learned is that everything you put out, good, bad, whatever, whatever kind of energy you spew is always going to come back to you. So if you are always giving good vibes, those are going to come back to you tenfold. If you're spewing negative vibes and wishing harm on people and, not being in your highest vibrational self, that also comes back to you. And that's where the generational curses come in. Generational curses, I'm sure we've all heard before, even if you're new on your spiritual path. It's something that's common within your family, something that, every generation has struggled with, whether it's in your women, the women in your families and the men in your families, both. It's addiction, it's, um, you know, mental illness. It could be, uh, sexual exploitation. It could be anything, absolutely anything that is a theme in your families, in your bloodline. And it's come down to you. You have a choice. You have a choice to clear the karma, or you have a choice to not heal and continue on doing the bare minimum of your soul growth. And that's a choice that we all have to make in our lives. Um, some of us, it's a lot harder to fight it than others, depending on your path, depending on why you're here. Sometimes you come into a lifetime just to literally just clear something very, like, one thing. Sometimes you come in to really clear out your lineage and really start from zero in your line. It depends on your personal path. But the main thing is, with karma, is that to just be mindful that whatever you do, it doesn't just affect you. Whatever decisions you make um, does not just affect you. It affects your children. It affects their children. It affects everybody coming after you. So that's something to be very mindful of when it comes to how you choose to live and how you choose to treat people, how you choose to go about life, what you choose to face, what you choose to heal, um, and the actions that you take. So, coming on to number 2, this leads me to mistakes are extremely necessary. We cannot go through life without making mistakes, and I know that a lot of us, we fear making mistakes, so we are very cautious. We are very scared to do certain things, because if it seems scary, we don't want to do it because we don't want to make a mistake. But it's so important to understand that mistakes are a part of this journey, that God isn't, um, you know, He's not punishing you for your mistakes. He, side note, I refer to higher source and the universe as God. That's just my preference. It's not religious. I'm not religious. That's just my preference. I don't really know why. It just is. Anyway, so mistakes. If you think back to a mistake that you made, and you carry a lot of guilt about it, you feel like you wish you did different, you regret it, blah, blah, blah. Just think about if you didn't make that mistake, if you didn't make that choice, where you don't know where you'd be now. You wouldn't know any better. So the point is that something I learned is that God knows how we're going to react to certain situations, and He puts these situations in our life knowing that we're probably going to make a mistake, that we're probably going to do what we wouldn't consider the right thing. But it's to redirect us to our path and redirect us to making the right choices for us that are aligned with our truth. And that's a huge lesson that I learned, because I used to carry so much guilt. I've made some very bad choices in my life, as a lot of us have. And I've made some decisions that to this day I don't regret, because I know it happened how it was meant to. I know it happened how God meant for it to happen. But I just wish I knew what I knew now then. And I couldn't have gotten to where I'm at now and to know better now if I didn't make that mistake when I did. So it's like when you know better, you do better type, that's just the way it's supposed to go. And it's like we shouldn't hold on to guilt, because God is waiting for us to forgive ourselves. God forgives us before we even make a mistake or, F up. He forgives us before. He waits for us to forgive ourselves and to let Him in, to allow Him to shine light on why this happened. That's the beauty of it. Mistakes are beautiful, because we're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. If we were meant to be perfect, we wouldn't have this physical body. We wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here around a million bajillion people making mistakes. We're all making mistakes. None of us are perfect. And restricting ourselves from making mistakes is not going to help us along our path. We need to be willing to make mistakes. We have to be, have that conversation of, all right, you know what, I'm going to take a risk, and if I fall on my ass, so be it. At least I'll learn something. At least I'll have that lesson, so that going forward, I know more about what is true to me. So moving on. Number 3 is love is simple. We all go through life looking for love, looking for people to love us, looking for the relationships that fill us with love, when in reality, love is universal. Love is already within us, around us. It's our trauma, it's our pain, it's the things we've been through that have hardened our hearts, that don't allow this love to flow within us. This is something that I've learned very recently. I've had like a heart awakening that in my solitude, I've been forced into solitude because of this lesson I needed to learn, which is that love is already within me. I don't need somebody to love me, a human, to show me love, to know that I'm loved. I know that I'm loved. And being in my solitude is where I feel it the deepest, when it's just between me and God and my angels. I feel the deepest love that I could ever feel. And talking about it brings tears to my eyes, because it's really, I went my whole life just grabbing for people, reaching for people to love me because I felt so unloved. I felt unworthy. I felt undeserving because of how I was treated by humans. And we cannot base our worth off of how humans treat us because everybody is so damaged. Everybody is healing. Everybody is working through their own traumas. And we are all living from our traumas. We are not living from our hearts. And that's the basis of the spiritual journey. It is to get us to start living, truly living and loving from our hearts, to heal the trauma so that we're able to receive love, that we're able to give love freely. It's free. Love does not have conditions. Love is unconditional. You do not have to be perfect or be, this perfect human being, look perfect, not have emotions, not get angry to be loved. You are loved regardless. You are loved regardless. If you don't feel loved by human, know that you're loved by source, you're loved by the universe, you're loved by your angels, your spirit guides, God. You're loved by people that you probably don't even know love you and care about you. And you have purpose here. And that if you just take time by yourself and start, digging into your heart, like, why do I feel like I need a relationship? Why do I feel like I need people around me to feel loved? Like, why do I need that when I can just love myself? I can feel that love within myself and know that no matter how long I'm single, no matter when I get married, no matter if I have 10 friends or no friends, that I'm loved, and that I can show love to myself by nurturing myself, by putting good foods into my body that I know are nurturing my body, that I can, have conversations with myself, that I can dance around, I can have fun by myself, I can take myself out. Like, it's just having an open heart and knowing that you will receive other people like you. Once you open your heart, you're going to attract everything that you are. So if you're attracting people who are closed off, that tells you that you're closed off, because people are our biggest teachers. And that leads me into, people are meant to come and go. One of the biggest lessons I've had to learn in my life, in my spiritual journey, is that I need to let people go when it's time for them to go and when they no longer are serving my life. People are meant to come in cycles, and it's like they're meant as tools. And yes, we love them, but you can love people without having a grip on them. You can love people from a distance. Sometimes people are just not meant to be in our lives for very long, or they are meant to be in our lives for a very long time, but then you're meant to go separate ways, or it's not your responsibility to hold people's hands to go to the next level with you because of how long you've known them. That is a choice that they're making. It's not your responsibility that you want to grow. You want to see what's out there. You want to explore and really reach your fullest potential. It's not your fault that the people you've grown up with don't, you know? And that's something I really had to come to terms with and accept. And yeah, it's lonely. It's lonely. Um, but it's worth it, because I know that when the time is right and when I I need further assistance, that God is going to bless me with more people, a community, and of like-minded people, people who are on the same path as me. And that's the blessing. Everything you lose, everyone you lose, is replaced with what's more suited for you. And love is not contained. It is not, I don't love this person if I'm letting them go, if I'm releasing the attachment we have to each other. That's not true, because you do love them, you care about them, but you're realizing that it's just, you guys are better off not being, you know, not being in each other's lives. Um, And I realize spirit does this by planting a seed. They'll plant a seed when they're preparing you for something that's about to happen in your life, or when they're gonna, they want you to pay attention to something. They'll plant a seed, in whatever way. For me, it was um, from somebody else that I had recently met, saying something that kind of made me think. From that moment forward, I started paying attention. I started seeing how the people I'm surrounded by are treating me, are treating others, how they're speaking, what they're focused on, how it's making me feel. And eventually it just like the back broke, and I was like, you know what? Like, I get it. Like, I get it. I get why I have to let these people go. And it's hard. You have to purge it, but eventually you realize it feels like a lightness. It feels like a relief. That's how I've known that I'm on the right path, is when I make a decision, or I let something happen. I allow spirit to work in my life. Um, I will feel relief, and I will feel free, you know, it's from something I didn't even know that was holding me back. So moving on, number 4 is, or I'm sorry, 5 is spirituality is our own unique expression of our souls. So this is a big thing that I feel very passionate about, because it's like a lot of people will think that you have to do certain things to be spiritual. But spirituality, we're all spirits. So we're all expressing ourselves, like our spirits in a way. How we dress, how we talk, what we like, the people we're around. But we'll be, as we go further along in our journey, um, we'll start coming more into our authentic selves and how our true soul wants to express itself. And we shed the ego identity that we have of ourselves. Again, something I've went through very recently. I literally shed my whole identity of who I've known myself to be, the walls I had up, the strength I thought I had was fake. And I really was checked, and I was checked and told, like, this was fake strength. We're giving you real strength that you're going to need further along your journey. By having to let go of certain people and of certain concepts I had. And I'm starting to, feel more comfortable being myself. Authenticity is spirituality. You don't have to have crystals. You don't have to, you don't have to do the normal stuff, burn incense and stuff. Those are all tools. Um, but we're all expressing ourselves and our spirit's authentic way of expressing itself. And there's no judgment, like, if we feel like we're being true to ourselves and how we're dressing and how the people we're around and stuff, then that's all you need to know. If you feel like you're being authentic to yourself and your truth, that's spirituality. That's being, true to yourself and true to your journey. um Number 6, we are never alone. As lonely as this spiritual journey can get, um, the loneliest times in the physical, like physically people being taken out of your life, you being isolated, um, those are the times that are the most important, because your solitude is where you gain the most insight, is where God is telling you, I need you to myself right now. I need you to pay attention to me and your purpose here, what we've discussed before bringing you here. What is your mission here? What is your purpose? We need to talk, basically, like God saying, we need to talk. I need to clear your path. Anything that is distracting you, anything that is holding you back from your true purpose and from what I put you here to do, is being removed, so that you have no more distractions, so that you can focus. Um, and that's real. Like, where I'm at. Again, I've been through that a couple times in my life, and it's become closer with. I know a lot of people have different beliefs about angels, about spirit guides, about ancestors, and all that. I believe in all of it. My beliefs are very open. I'm only expressing this from what I've personally experienced, and I've experienced, um, you know, visitations from my ancestors. I've visitations from deities that have been working with me, angels, archangels, my guides. I've experienced their presence in my life, and it's something you have to be open to, obviously. And I've realized how they communicate is not necessarily through words, even though I am clairaudient, so I am able to sometimes hear them in my mind. And so they communicate through synchronicities, like number sequences, or um, I receive like animal totems or animal guides that they'll have me start paying attention, and synchronicities in that. They'll show me a hawk. Like right now, the hawk is my guide. I see a hawk outside my window every morning. Every single morning. I've lived here for a long time now and never seen a hawk before until I came back from visiting back home. And um, even back home outside my window, I would see hawks circling, like 5 of them circling. Never even saw that before. It's synchronicities that you start paying attention to. And when you start getting synchronicities, like research them, ask, see what insight comes to you, meditate on it, see what they're trying to tell you. A lot of times they're just trying to tell you that they're there and that you're being protected and that you're being guided. And, sometimes you'll feel overwhelming presences in your dreams. You'll wake up and feel very clear, very, like if you were worrying about anything before you went to sleep, all of a sudden you wake up and you just feel good. You feel like it's a brand new day, and it's like, where did all the stress from yesterday go? They cleared it out in your dreams, and they're working with you in your sleep. So it's things like that. For me, it's a lot of overwhelming presences, especially recently. I've been going through another awakening myself, and I've been seeing lights here and there. My ears have been ringing a lot. All of a sudden, my ear pressure will kind of like fluctuate. I'll get sensations in like recently I've been getting sensations in my throat, like a cold feeling in my throat. I feel like it's my throat chakra opening up. Um, I'll just get sensations in my body. I'll get just a knowing that I'm surrounded. Especially lately, I feel like I've been very surrounded, very protected. It's just a feeling you have, like a comfort. And that's another thing. It's like, ask them for what you need. If you need like to feel comforted, if you need to feel like you're not alone, ask. Be like, look, I just need to feel your presence today. Like, I need to feel like I'm not alone here. Like, I'm getting lonely, and I just want to know and be reminded that I'm not alone. And you will receive that confirmation, I promise you. Um, so yeah, so the message here: you're not alone. You are always surrounded. We all have spirit guides, angels, our ancestors surrounding us, loved ones that have passed surrounding us. Um, we're just never alone. It's just, if you're not able to see them, it's because they're vibrating on a different frequency. But they show themselves in their language. It's like it's a different form of communication. It's like we're speaking a different language. Um, yeah, it's an interesting way to look at it. I never even like that kind of just came to me. Okay. And lastly, number 7, God, the universe, source, the divine, whatever you want to call the greatest form of love, the greatest energy, loves us all unconditionally. No matter your sexual orientation, no matter it doesn't matter what you've done in your life. It doesn't matter how big the mistakes you've made have been. You are loved. God waits for us to want better for ourselves, to want to heal, to call on Him, to be like, look, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now. He waits for us. He's not leaving us. He waits for us. Because at the end of the day, we have to choose to allow him to work in our lives. And another, the way that I came to this conclusion that it doesn't matter what we do, that we're still loved, is I'm a gay woman. I came out September of 2019, kind of. I like kind of slowly, just whatever. And during that time was also the beginning of a very big awakening in my life. And I had also at that time just started doing tarot, um, and coming into my gifts and really honing them and actually like accepting them. And I remember I was at work. I used to be a bartender, and I was just having a really like, I was purging a lot. I was really releasing a lot, and I went into the bathroom and I cried, and I was literally just like God, like, do you love me still because I'm gay? Because I am. It's just too much. Like that's just who I am, and I feel like it's like I can't fight it anymore. And I heard very strongly, it is just like you and your spiritual gifts. You know I've given them to you. You know I made you that way. Love is love. Very clearly I heard love is love. So it goes back to earlier how I said love is unconditional, love is free flowing. Two consenting adults. How does that affect anybody else if we choose to love each other but we're the same gender? You know? Um, and even since coming out, I've experienced the most blessings I've ever experienced in my life. I've experienced the most authentic version of myself. And I just don't care what humans have to say about it. I don't care what um, anybody has to say. I know I'm being true to myself. Um, and it's always been me. And I know that. I've been pushing it down my whole life. And finally, it just came to the surface. Eventually, you have to face things. And it wasn't just a phase. It wasn't just because of my trauma that I went through when I was younger that I felt this way. And that's something I had to come to terms with. And so no matter how guilty you feel for being who you are, how people make you feel about being who you are loved, you are accepted, you were made this way. If you feel like you just have something in you, you just want to burst, like you just want to be free to be this person that you know you are, to express your soul's truest desires. And it's, it's not obviously something that, like, I'm not talking about like molestation and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like real love. Like, it feels loving, it feels free to be who you are, and that's you're a woman and you love women. Be free to be that and know that you're loved regardless. Know that you have a place in heaven. Like, don't let anybody tell you that you are forsaken, that you are forgotten, that you are not good enough, that you are sinning. No, you are loving. Love. That's it. Period. Love is love. So I'm going to end that off on that note. And I really hope that this helps somebody. And yeah. So, sorry, I'm kind of processing everything I just said. But yeah, I really felt called to do this video today. And I know it's going to touch somebody. So that's all I can ask for. And that's the only reason I'm really doing what I'm doing and putting myself out there, my business out there, my experiences out there, stuff that's very personal to me. I feel called to share it now. So, hope you enjoyed. I'll leave my info for readings, sessions, healings, whatever it is if you need any assistance along your journey, I'll leave my email down below. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.